Okay. Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube. I'm Spirit to Spirit, teaching to believe in self. I'm on TikTok, 1974 Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. And if you're not familiar with my channel, I usually suggest and recommend that people go and read the description on my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit, teaching to believe in self, to get a better understanding and talk about happening in the world, my own experiences, and a lot of people don't like me talking about my own experiences because it says about them, right? But it's that part, like you keep quiet for so long and you don't say anything until it becomes a poison in your body and your body feels like it feels like it needs to get it out because you're told you shouldn't have these feelings. But I'm not mocking people. People will say, well, like you say, you don't judge. No, it's not judgment. It's sharing my experiences, and I'm asking like why, like why do people do this? My thing today is about trust. Okay, where does trust come from? Like actually, because I went on and I knew what trust was, but some people don't differentiate it different ways. Well, meaning of trust: firm belief in reliability, truth, ability, strength of someone or something. Relations have to be built on trust. Okay, and I struggle a lot with trusting people because I've been lied to so often, like even told, like people will say, oh, well, some things come up. And somebody tells you that they're going to do something for you or things like that. They'll hold you to what you say. Uh, Yesterday, yesterday in the city. And my ex-husband was basically like talking to me like I was a little child in the middle of the store because we were gone in Christmas shopping and we were looking at something. And I had already told him. He said, well, like, which do you want? And he kept talking to me like I was a kid. And I said, well, I already told you I wanted them right in front of people. So I just, like, I snapped at him. And I didn't care if it was that people thought I should have been embarrassed, but it shouldn't have been me. It's like, if people want to think that somebody shouldn't stand up to someone because, you fear you might be embarrassed, it's fucking bad. Like, seriously, sometimes maybe people do need to be embarrassed. Because I had somebody else tell me, people see. Yeah, people do see. And a lot of people don't say shit if they had a mouthful. So we were going to town and I heard that, like, we were hearing like a scraping in town. And like, I was frustrated because it was like every time I took my car somewhere, something done to it, something always ended up wrong. First time I got stuff done to the car, and the person put the things on, the mechanic put the stuff on backwards. So it damn near destroyed my car. And when I tried telling my ex-husband about it, he would holler at me. Okay. So I had my car in and I got it painted. And whether they forgot to hook something back on, I don't know because a thing broke off and it was scraping. So I was being calm until it was just a constant scrape. And then I was just like really irritated and furious because my ex-husband, he has no real reason to talk. He acts like he's all fucking holier than thou. Yeah. He's the biggest fucking liar. And I can't trust him. And the reason why I don't trust him, I care about him, but I don't trust him as far as I control him because all he does is say, oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. No, you're not. And you tell me that I lied by omission because I didn't tell you that somebody sexually assaulted me when we weren't together, but I lied by omission. And, you know, say you're not going to call me a whore in that anymore. You know, by lying to me, you're still doing the same fucking thing. People say, oh, you just come on here to tell your life story. That's no spirit to spirit. That is. Because spirit to spirit is heart to heart. And if people haven't figured that out by now, are you ever going to know what spirit is? I'm like, this morning I went up. Well, he went hunting. He come back, and I went up to see him, and I asked him because he said that when we got home yesterday, he was going to check this, but he never checked it. I'm tired. Always, I'm tired. Or I did this and I did. You know, you keep telling me that you're tired, that you can't clean up your house because you're tired, but you'll go do stuff for other people. Just saying. This ain't to throw shade at people, but I know that like people tell him that they're going to do stuff for him, and they do what benefits them, and then the rest goes by the wayside. But you know that's on him. He keeps doing that, and I felt that, and I felt that. I'm saying what I observed because you know what ends up happening is he comes back at me, and I wear the shit. 744 on the timer. Earlier, he come back home. He's getting coffee, and I asked about him looking at the thing. Yep, yep. I'll have a look at it before I go. Just like everything. Yep, yep. I'll have a look at it before I go. Well, lies means untrue statement with intent to deceive. But because I held something back from him, because really, like, I mean, even after I told him, he belittled me for it, like it was my fault. Like, you were with that dirty fucker. Seriously, man, you were letting that dirty fucker in your house, even though I kept telling you, and you kept saying, "No, he's manipulating my brain. He never shuts up," and everything like that. Seriously, man. Yeah. And then he said about a couple other people who I allowed to stay in my trailer, my camper trailer, years ago. He said about them being like leaving my camper trailer filthy dirty. If we go up at his place, holy shit, man. I'd hear him say about other people when he would go to their place. He said he walked into this one man's place. He said it was just stuff everywhere, tools and junk, and his bed was filthy and everything like that. Seriously, you've got fucking coffee grounds all over your cupboard. You don't get rid of nothing. not even garbage. And he tells me that I have mice in my house. I got no mice in my house. None at all. But he's been catching mice up in his place. I don't have food laying around. But he'll say about if I have a fork somewhere, oh, you're gonna attract mice. Seriously, dude? This ain't throwing shade on you. But you might want to have a look at yourself because you like to complain, you like to say about other people, but you're one of the worst ones. I love you and I care about you, but he always, when we were together, he always blamed me for all the mess. I have not trusted him for a very long time because I can feel it, and he gets angry. 11:11. He gets angry because I don't believe a damn word he says to me. You always think I'm lying. It's because you are fucking lying, and you've done it ever since I've known you. And even when I caught him in lies, he denied it, and a lot of people do that. I've been guilty of it before I realized that my heart is not going to allow me to lie. And my heart is going to tell me when others are being honest and truthful or when they're being dishonest and manipulative. I've had so many people throw shit at me, and that's okay. Like I said, if it gets you through every day, it's like when I do things for people, I don't look for something in return. There's times when I'll do stuff for people, I just don't want to do it, but I do it to be kind. But a lot of people take advantage of kind people. My ex-husband, he likes to say about what people does, but he does the same thing. I'll say it like I refer to him as Uranus. And why do I refer to him as Uranus? Because Uranus was actually a to Gaia, to his wife. My name means Earth. It's like Gaia. I can fully relate to what it is. Uranus to me is, your anus. You're an asshole. Whenever I try talking to people about things, all they want to do is holler at me. And if he figured that yesterday I was going to feel embarrassed because I left the store and I waited for him to come out. And then I decided to come back in because I was thinking of like what I was going to get in the cart. I had a cart and I was going to get some shoes and stuff like certain shoes and what have you. And he's here like this to me. Come on, scat, scat, come on, let's go, scat, scat. So I looked at him, I said, I'm not your cat. And I walked out and I could feel my, oh man, it was like I just held it in and I was walking through the door and it was just like you could literally feel the energy within me. People could tell that I was pissed off. And as I got closer to the door, I just like that. because I had to do something with energy. When I did that, it's like people think you're sort of, it was like I was controlling it. And I just left stuff there and I got out in the car, waited, I had to calm down. He come out with the stuff. So I'll tell you right now, you damn well better not expect me to pay for it because I fucking left it there. So if you bought it for me, you bought it for me. I had no problem leaving it. Somebody said about accepting it. Yeah, I did. I did take it, and I am gonna keep it. But when he got in the car, I told him straight up, "Don't you ever do that to me again. Say, tell me scat." Oh, I was joking. No, you fucking weren't joking at all. You were serious. You always say you're joking when you're caught. I know when you're joking, and you don't joke like that. You insult. So as far as me trusting people, I struggle a lot with it because I feel their intentions, even when they say, "Oh, well, you don't at all." Yeah, I do. You just don't want to admit to it because my ex-husband will keep saying to me that people don't want to be around you because all you do is scold people. No, I don't. What? I'm scolding you because I told you off because you're being a fucking pecker-headed dickhead asshole. Am I name calling? Well, if the shoe fits, because he is being a pecker-headed dickhead asshole, because he's so far in his masculine, and he'll say about metrosexual. To me, a metrosexual is somebody who's in their two spirited. Like, man, you're so far in your fucking ego, you can't get your head out of your ass. And you say you can't get organized. I wonder why. Because you don't want to. I think you're happy living in disarray. Because it's that part when you go into somebody else's home and you say about the disorganization and how filthy their home was and everything like that. You might want to come home and look at your own fucking place, man. I'm serious. You got fucking shit in your living kitchen area that should be in a fucking shed. Is this shaming you? Well, is it? No, it's stating truth. I used to be in disarray, but I kept most of my stuff to my bedroom because it was mostly to do with clothes. Most of my stuff in my bedroom. When we were together in a brand new house, he was still not happy. He brought shit in and he would blame me for it. He would do the same thing there. He would take fucking tools and paint and just stuff that should be. He had a two-car garage and he had a big storage room downstairs, but he dumped it off right by the door and then blamed me, saying it was my stuff and none of it was mine. See, for the longest time, I didn't want to look at my shed. But I'm glad that Spirit, God, Creator, Source, my ancestors, my family, what have you, deceased family. If it weren't for them, I would have either been dead or I still would have been in chaos. Because if you clean your place, if you clean your place up, you have it organized, it helps to clear the mind a lot more. It takes you out of that depression. Not your bitch, and not your dog. I'm not going to go fetching. I'm not going to clean up after you anymore. 5 times I spent at least 12 hours or more straight crying and screaming to get him to help to organize him. No appreciation. Wasn't looking for it because it was just like they were getting this. Spirit was getting me to do this to teach me something. But I'll admit sometimes I can be pretty fucking thick. I will you know when I married him the first time, it was because my lawyer told me that the only way that I was going to get my son back was if I got married. So I married him. I asked, I basically went to him and said, can we get married? I didn't get married on the I did a quick $1,500 wedding, $40 wedding dress from Value Village out of the Halloween section that was tore. So, I stapled it. And I always wanted to get married. Sometimes it's like people don't want to see me happy. And it's like, whether you want to see me happy or not, one day I'm going to be, and you can be in my life or not. That will be up to yourself. I told my ex-husband back in 2021, the first time, since '99, I went into the psychiatric where I was out of class. And I promised him that I wasn't going to leave him alone until I knew he was okay. And it's that part of, the promise was that he was supposed to bring himself up. But you know what? I'm to that point where I look at him like, you must be okay. You keep going and doing the same thing over and over again. You keep hollering at me like I'm your bitch dog. But I'm not your bitch and I'm not your dog. When they say that they marry you for better or for worse, he's the worst part of it. You love him, care about him. But I'm done with people's lip service. I've done so much inner work to change. My feelings are coming up now because my heart has been broken. And spirit's making it all get off me because it's that part, we take it out on people that don't deserve and haven't taken it in because it's that part of the ones that truly put the pain on us and hurt us. It's not to hurt them back, it's to say, wake up because you're still doing it to me. I don't care how much somebody says they love me because my ex-husband will say that. He'll come out and be like, oh, I love you. You're beautiful. So don't call me fucking beautiful. Don't tell me you love me because I know what love is, and this is not love. This is abuse. And people say, well, leave. I have no fucking place to go because my family won't open the door to me. My father says that, oh, well, you can't live with them because, oh, you guys don't get along. But I've opened my door. Even though I didn't get along, I still opened my door. And, they won't like this. And I don't care anymore because people seem to care. But it's that part that, when my life gets completely on track and it's where I'm meant to be going, people want to throw shit at me. My ex-husband, he wants to say that, people don't want to be around you because of you. But yet I've had people tell me that they didn't want to be around me because they didn't like my ex-husband. Like, that's where trust comes in. Because I don't believe a fucking word that anybody says anymore. Because I don't feel it. I don't feel truth to it. And I know I'm not the only one out in the world experiencing this. And I encourage others to speak up and stand up for yourself and say, enough is enough. There's a young girl that I watched, and she said about one of her parents. They'll walk by her and they'll insult her. Turn around and give them. It's that part of, maybe we need to start giving these people as much respect as they show us, and people say, oh, go meditate on it. Meditate. You distance yourself from them. Sometimes you can only distance so far, right? And then sometimes it comes a time when it's like, stand up and say something. But then, people say, well, they turn it around on you. Don't I know it? Because anytime I try talking to my ex-husband, for whatever reason, the universe put me back with him in the same place. He lives upstairs, I live downstairs. And Dad, I love you, but you keep telling me just stay downstairs, stay downstairs. I'm tired of staying in a fucking basement, whether it's got fucking windows and I got the outside or not. That's the same as telling your kid just go isolate. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to see you. When my ex-husband, and I'm going to say it, I don't care. When my ex-husband's mother passed, When we found out, we got in the car and we went right there. They had people come over. What happened? My ex-husband's father come downstairs because this does still bother me because I seen the way my like I'll share like told us that we were to we for us to stay downstairs, but yet his siblings' kids were allowed up there. Seriously. And then I was upstairs. This was after my accident, and I wasn't well, but I went with him anyways. And I was in the room and I was laying down. Well, first off, his sister, she looked at me because my ex-husband was having a hard time with it, and he was like talking, frustrated. His sister looks at me and says, "Would you go in there and tell him to remind him who we're here for?" It's just like what? And I went in the room because I was there for him and I was there for everyone, and he was there for the same thing. We were not there for one fucking person. It's being there for each other. His sisters don't like me now. No sweat off my ass. Lord knows what he fucking did. Speaking truth, don't like me. I don't care. Because I don't think you really liked me anyways. The only person in your family, I think, who really liked me was your mom. I was in laying on the bed, and his father come down the hall, muttering under his breath, "Oh God, I wish you'd just go home." So I started crying about him knowing. And when my ex-husband came in the room, I told him, like, I want to go to the mall. I gotta get out of here. I just want to go to the mall. And then we were basically told to go home. Well, you guys can go home after. With my ex-husband, I am not one person that has been there. His mom was there, but he kept himself at a distance, and I've been that one person. And I've been that one person who's actually stood up to his bullshit. People who sees the way he talks to me. A real man would speak up. I'm serious. Because I know he goes and he fucking tells lies about me and bullshits and blames me for everything that transpires. Over the fact of him saying about like getting angry and saying about wanting to kill me and then telling other people, well, it's her fault because she gets in my face. Seriously. They say people say about forgiveness. Well, I don't trust him enough to even remotely try to forgive him for anything because he keeps doing the same thing. So it's that part of the person going into the church and doing confession. Take your confessions and shove them up your ass. Because you go in and confess and you go right, turn around and you do the same thing over again. Oh, well, I'll just go confess again. Or, oh, Jesus, Yeshua died on the cross for our sins. So you keep doing the same thing over again because somebody else is dying on the cross for you, right? People like throwing that in others' face. Oh, he died for our sins. I love seeing things now where I'm seeing people actually go to these states or provinces and what have you, and they're actually helping people. My ex-husband, he'll tell me, "Oh, you should watch this guy and that guy. They have some pretty good insight." Meanwhile, they're saying the same fucking thing as me. Only, I'm not reading it out of a book. I'm going by my own experience. He says, "Oh, it's not scientific." What's Oh, you can't prove experience. What? Seriously, dude, what the fuck? And you say you look at yourself as being like smart and intelligent? That's daft and ignorant. Want to tell me that people don't want to be around me? I go around strangers, and when I am authentic and I am in myself, they smile. But the darkness never likes the light getting in their face because it shows them their own darkness, but they don't want to look at that. They just want to point fingers. So, do I trust you? This is to my ex-husband because I know, he'll probably watch this. Am I going to confront him? Oh, yeah, because he's constantly telling me, "Yeah, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it." And when he asks me, "Well, I'm tired," and then he starts following at me. He gets mad. No offense to my dad, but my ex-husband gets mad when I tell him that he's acting just like my dad. I'm going to be honest. Like my dad has good qualities, but it's that part, when your daughter comes to you and she just wants to talk, you say, "Oh, I want you." Like my ex-husband does it. Every man in my life has done it. My ex-husband said to me yesterday, "Oh, you hate men." No, I don't hate men. Don't hate men. I can't stand an egotistical person. I can't stand somebody who is so far in their masculine that they're abusive. And they'll say, "Oh, well, you be abusive." Yeah. Am I abusive, or am I just reflecting back on you what you're giving to me? So it's, don't dish out what you can't take, right? I had somebody tell me, "How would you like me to go on social media and tell everybody about how you were sleeping around with men?" It's like, go for it. I already have. I've already told them. Yeah, the sun. Hey, it's coming in weird. It didn't do this yesterday. Like I'm blanked out on here on TikTok, and I love my family very much, and that's why I'm fighting for them. The things I do, it's like people say, "Well, why aren't you doing it for yourself?" It's the part of because I don't know how to do anything for myself. I've always done everything to help others, to want to help others, and that's why, like, I've helped people, and others would say, "Well, people charge for what you do." It's the part I don't have. I don't have to charge for what I do because it's just natural. Sa laborare kaya mo siya posible. Strangers like me speaking, but the ones that say they love me and care about me, they don't. They want to shut me down. The message to my ex-husband: I love you, but I don't like your personality because you're a mean person. You're one of those mean girls. It's going to take a lot for me to ever get in a relationship because all the ones that ever told me that they cared, actions spoke louder than words. And you know, people say that. I had this channel to me yesterday about money, and I've said about put your money where your mouth is. So I channeled yesterday that I really want to take when people hold money over your head. I want to take that money and I want to shove it so far up her fucking ass because that would be putting your money where your mouth is because all you talk is shit. It's like talking at your ass. You know that when you're saying something to me that you don't really mean it, and I feel it, and that's why I just like get irritated or look at you because I know you're lying to me. I know you're not being honest. No, for a while, it wasn't that I wasn't honest. Because the honest part was I kept holding my feelings in. So no, I wasn't being honest. I wasn't being honest with myself because I kept telling myself, "Oh, just shove it down, just shove it down. It's not hurting you. It's not bothering you." But it fucking well was. That's weird. It's like, holy crap, what's going on? Put your head in front of the put your head in front of the light. There. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Spirit to spirit is heart to heart. So my spirit, all versions of my spirit that have been suppressed right from childhood start speaking up and you know, because others can't bring out their own pain and allow it to come out. This to me is healthy for me because this is my being on here, whether anybody's watching or not. This is my stuff because this is me. And I go back and watch myself because I never got anything out of going and seeing a psychologist because you get in there and you just get started and you're oh time's up. Here, take your medication. Don't forget to set an appointment for 2 weeks or a month and come back. I don't trust psychologists because they write stuff down and they usually don't write it down to the end of the day and how many people did they have in the community. And then when you want your documents, you have to go through a whole bunch of hoopla, Freedom of Information Act, or you have to like sign. It's your fucking medical records, not theirs. Although they like to say that they are. I don't trust. I don't trust that. Like a lot of doctors, I don't trust judges. I don't trust a lot of lawyers. I don't trust anyone for the most part that is affiliated with any form of system because I've been lied to by the systems. I've been abused by the systems. And I've been lied about. I had somebody tell me that you go on social media to tell your life and stuff like that. Well, what's the difference of going on social media and telling my life? You know, the people that want to hear it or want to watch me, they're going to go on my channel. It's the same as if I wrote a fucking book about my life. The only ones that's going to pick it up is somebody who wants to know my life. So every day, day after day, I went out and I bought a label to make labels so that my ex-husband could get organized. Because he says, oh, if I'm organized, I don't know where anything is. Holy fuck, man. You just throw your shit everywhere and you don't know where it is. It's like I have that channel that's saying, and you know, Jesus was the same way. Was Jesus and Yeshua even the same person? I have to ask. Did you get some that say Jesus was the son of a pope? Speaking of a pope, I went to, there was a church for sale, like 20, 25 minutes from where I live. And we went to look at it because I wanted to have like open a healing place. We went to look at it. And I went in and had the reviews and had a lot of nice stuff there, but I didn't like had the confession thing there. I wasn't agreeing with, my body wasn't agreeing with the confession thing. And I just had a weird feeling in my body. I had a picture of Mary and Jesus and Yeshua up front. And I walked up front and I went and I started turning back. And there was a picture of the Pope. That picture, people put a picture of the Pope, picture of the Queen, and they said, oh, worship God. This ain't to throw shade on your religion. It's to say hello. Seriously. Your Pope ain't going to help you find God. Your Queen, your King, anything like that, they're not going to help you find God. You're going to find God internally. You may see aspects of God in the physical world because God is within everyone, and it's your choice as to whether or not you believe. But my ex-husband telling me, go watch this guy or that guy or this guy or that guy. Never mentions anything about a woman. What, women don't know nothing? He fucking coddles you when you're ill. Because when I was sick, I'm sure the heck I didn't have anybody coddling me. I didn't have anyone taking care of me. I had home care coming in sometimes and cooking my meals. They were more concerned about me than anyone else was. And if people want to get irritated because I bring this forward, I'm done hiding my feelings. I'm done suppressing them because it fucking hurts bottom. I get always angry. I get angry when I get mistreated and abused. And it's like people say, "Oh, well, I am comfortable being with myself," but we weren't meant to be by ourselves. I'm going to say it because I told my ex-husband, and I put on here and I said, the only time that people call me or talk to me is if they want something, right? The other night, I was sitting and I looked on my calendar to find out when the last time it was that my dad called me. They say, well, why didn't you call me? Why? Because I was told that my family's pissed off at me because I come on here and express my feelings because that's the only way I can express my feelings. Because any other way, I get shut down like I'm a little child. You're to be seen and not heard. But Saturday, I went out and I come home and I checked my phone and I had seen that my dad called. So I called. All he wanted to know was what size my youngest son took in twice. My second also said, "Do you really think they would talk to you after what you say about them?" It's like, should I want to talk to anyone for what they say or how they talk to me? She thinks it's okay for her, like, oh well, I say this to dad and everything like that. Well, you fucking hang up on dad. I don't hang up on dad. Dad says that I hang up on him, but I don't hang up on him at all. People get pissed off at me because I say something that they don't like or want to hear. And they'll say, "Oh, well, you did." No, actually, no, I don't. I just say, like, why fucking ask me if you're going to tell me that I'm wrong? People tell me that, oh, well, you're not connected with spirit. They say, like, where the fuck do you think I got this language from? I'm sure I didn't go fucking learn it anywhere. Oh, you got a foul mouth for a woman. Well, I said before, I'm not always in my feminine. So, seriously, people, don't tell me you love me because I know I know that it's just milk. I know I'm not going to be alone in the physical world my whole life. And if I am, well, I guess I walk alone, right? Didn't didn't Yeshua walk alone a lot of the time, spend a lot of time. But I'm telling you, he just couldn't be around crowds because he could feel it. He could feel when people were being truthful. You know what? He says you are like he. So, you know, if you think that God only had one child, you're 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 going by what someone else interpreted. And they say, "Oh, God only had one living child." Are you not fucking living? Yeshua was tapped in. He knew his divinity, and he was trying to tell other people, only they didn't understand what he was trying to explain, and then it got manipulated. And then because Mary Magdalene, she understood. Oh, well, it was like at that time it was a man's world, and it's been kind of seeming like that sometimes right now. And then others will say because women are standing up for themselves and stuff like that, and men are standing up with them. Oh, they're feminists. Take your feminist stuff and shove it right up your fucking hole, you fascist piece of turd farts. Because that's what's coming out of your mouth, the turd farts. It's coming out your ass. My ex-husband says about like certain government officials running for government or stuff like that about being a fascist. Well, you're a fascist. You don't want to admit to it, but you are. Usually people that are the same way as these other people, because you don't look bad, you do it. It's the same as if somebody's living, whether it's man or woman, if they're living in denial of being, because they're afraid of what other people will say or think of them for it, what happens? You talk down and you talk shit about gay people because you're afraid of your own sexuality. You don't want. You see other people being treated that way, and you don't want to be treated that way. So you're not being honest with yourself. I've seen it happen because, you know, God forbid you want to fit in with those people or you want to be associated with those people if you got somebody who doesn't agree with it. But when I hear like people saying about the Father, to be honest, apparently I got a beef with the Father because the masculine has never done me any favors. My mom taught me about a heart, about having a heart. My dad taught me how to be stubborn. My mom also taught me not to stand up for myself, not intentionally, but by example, because I've watched and what things happen in Brooke's family. The Black family doesn't like me bringing this stuff forward. It's like, it's not to ridicule you because you don't listen to the whole thing. When my mom passed, everybody was in pain and in disarray, and like my if I see it as to my siblings, they got into it and then they tried to put me in the middle of it. And then everybody went home and I stayed the night with my dad and my oldest son, and They got into it, and I got in the middle, and maybe they won't admit to it, but my hair got pulled a little bit, and my arm got twisted a bit when I said, "Out, they separated." This ain't to throw shade on them. It's saying what happens in families when you're in a place of pain and suffering and anger. You end up taking it out on those closest to you. It's that part, I know what family's supposed to look like and what it's supposed to feel like. And I don't want to be away from my family. But if it means that I have to close myself off and not be able to be me because I'm not who you once knew, I've always been that person. I've just been suppressed. And I will say, I know my mom was the same way. It's like you curl up in a ball within yourself. And then when you stand up and speak up, oh, well, you got depression, you got mental health issues. Seriously. Say people that say it are part of that mental health problem, that mental health issue. My, my sister told me, you need basically, you need psychiatric because you got mental health problems. You're acting like a psychopath or you're like rage, rage and lunatic. Well, I've already come on here and said, I know I look like a rage and lunatic, but I got a reason for it. So that's why I don't trust anybody. I don't trust what they say because they don't give me a reason to trust. There's so many times that I cry because I want my mom here. My mom might have had her problems, but my mom and I were always there for me, even if we had turmoil. I knew my mom loved me. Because she's with me all the time, and she keeps telling me it's okay, it's going to be okay. In 2017, I had a medium, and he told me, they said that they had someone coming through their name started with the next. I say, Sam. Getting Sandy. Sam and Sandy. People used to call my mom Sandy. And they said, Sandra. And they told me that she'd say, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. What I want is healing and family. And right now, I don't trust people. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way in the world. pills, they just suppress you. They don't help you. That's why people keep going. Some people keep going on unless you actually find the right person who's going to give you, like, teach you tools to use. And Spirit's teaching me the tools to use because I'm alone a lot of the time right now because I have to experience my feelings. I have to let my feelings come through because that's where you get when you're suppressed and you're told not to experience feelings. Just push it down, push it down. That's where you get the explosions. That's where you get the violent behaviors. That's like, I now say it again. Look at your kids. Your kids act out because they're trying to express something and they don't know how to express it. But you people who know my family, though, you just want to know, I just want to live life. I want to experience life in a healthy way. And expressing your feelings is healthy. Suppressing your feelings is mental health. Because mental health is in turmoil, and unless you have medical coverage or you can afford to go to a private therapist, you got to wait till the government says you can, until they have a spot for you, or and then they pick your psychologist. You're not allowed. Actually, they wanted me to go see a psychiatrist because they told me, well, I can't treat you. I can't treat you unless you have a diagnosis. I'm not there for a fucking diagnosis. That's all you guys. That's all you people ever want to do is fucking diagnose people. Every time you diagnose somebody, you lower their vibration because it sticks to them like a fucking plague. There's your truth. And I'm not throwing shade on all psychologists and therapists and stuff like that, people who are actually doing what's right for the people. And most of those people, you're not going to see them in the government system. Get out there. So when people say about, like, oh, well, you're not talking spirit, yeah, because spirit is heart to heart. And that's why I said, and those spirits know who I'm talking to. I'm talking from my heart to theirs. It's like, is your heart cold? Or are you going to allow yourself to, see truth within yourself too and allow yourself to see like what made you so fucking bitter and angry and abusive? I'm not here for the lighthearted. I'm here to say, you're pretty fucking cold. Like a lot of people, they have no trust. But people will, yeah, I'm like that kid. People will throw shade on people like myself. But I'm telling you right now, it takes a lot of courage to speak the truth, to speak up for yourself, to speak in public. Except part of, I'm not going to feel bad for this anymore. At first, I would start closing myself off, and my heart, spirit would start saying, no, you got to bring it out because it's fucking poison to you. Lies create the distrust. People say lie by omission. Just because you're not telling something, it doesn't make it something to somebody. It doesn't make it a lie because you never told them. It just means you don't fucking trust them. So if I look like I don't believe you for anything you say, or I second guess you or anything like that, that's my protection. And my heart will know whether you are being honest or not. And like I said, there's a lot of people out there, more than not. I don't stop helping people, but I've set boundaries, and a lot of people don't like when somebody sets boundaries, or when they put that wall up because they see what's happening. And right now, you know, my ear is buzzing, my ass is buzzing. If people want to throw shit at me, said if it gets through every day, but it's that remembering, what you do to me, you're only hurting yourself. And it's not because I'm throwing anything back at you. So do I believe stuff that my ex-husband tells me? Fuck no. He's given me no reason to trust or believe him. I don't trust his judgment. And he'll say, oh, you don't got very good judgment. Well, I fucking do now. But I do know that he's put me in some uncomfortable positions. And I don't mean that way. I mean uncomfortable situations because I've told him my concerns. And I will say it. There's a younger fellow that's being charged for international pedophilia or something like that. He's been charged. And when that person was first brought around this place, I told him that I didn't want him here. But he kept bringing him here, and he kept going to him. And then he found out some other stuff too. But I have I got no judge character. I've voiced my concerns to but he dismissed them because all he wanted to do was look good for everybody else. He said, "Oh, I want to help. I can help these people." No, how the fuck can you help other people when you can't even fucking help yourself? And all you ever do is take it out on me, and then you wonder why I got fucking venom coming back at you. It's like, dude, you want to fucking duke it out? Dici per la poturieta. Because I'll tell you right now, he is the one that hurt me most. I don't take compliments well. I just dismiss them because I don't feel them to be truthful and honest or genuine. When somebody tells me they love me, it's not because I don't love myself, because I do. And I have respect for myself now. And then I know my worth, and I know what I want. And the universe knows, God knows, the spirit knows. But is it guarded? Yep. Like if you watch Once Upon a Time, Emma on there, she get like with Hook, Captain Hook Gillian, or whatever his name is. Right? She she loved him, but she was guarded, and she wasn't allowing herself because she was always running from him because she had been hurt so many times. So she just felt that she was better off by herself. But she always wanted to run. Whenever there was someone genuine trying to get close, it's like I want. It's a part of finding that part of me in another person that is fully like spiritually connected with myself, where we can fully relate to one another, where we're coming from, being able to speak to one another. It's that part of my not the art at anything, but the heal. Because for the past 4 years, I've been working my ass off, hermit mode constantly. So my own fears, so my own insecurities, my own lack of what I'm missing. Am I stubborn? Well, I said. Can I be thick? Well, I said. But it's that part coming on here and letting people know, like, there are people out there that can relate to you. It's not about bashing, although some people say, well, you're on here bashing us. No, I'm not on here bashing it. You're going to bashing it. You're going to take it the way you want, anyways, because you're not going to get the message. Like they never got the real message with regards to Yeshua. What do you think he was doing to help Mary Magdalene? You know, they said she had uh, 7 sins. She didn't have 7 sins. In the movie Chosen, at the beginning, it showed that a man went running because he was bleeding. He went running to the priest about it. He was bleeding because he was trying to fucking rape her. And she was defending herself. Whether you people want to believe it or not, because, you always got to believe somebody else in a book other than, using your own discernment. They were in, like, man's world, man's law. Women's words were never taken for granted, taken as truth. Anybody who they felt was less than them, well, they were liars, and they weren't. Some of them were pretty, you say you got the wolf in with the sheep. All of a sudden, I got a weird taste in my mouth. It's that part of knowing what spirit really is, heart, and it emits an energy, whether it's the energy of anger, of whether it's energy of coldness, feelings, joy, happiness. The people who are so in their resentment and anger or being dishonest with themselves. See, the woman that told me that day at one holistic, oh, well, you're not like, you have no permission to be in my energy. It's like, you know what? Seriously? Don't fucking tell me I have no permission to be in your energy. Then I guess you should be keeping your fucking energy to yourself, hey? Would you ever tell, like, if you talk about Yeshua, would you tell what Yeshua, get out of my energy? You think you could control that any more than you could? You know, the empath, how do you think he could tell people things about themselves? I did it the other day at Winners. I stood there and talked to a woman and I told her what I was experiencing from her. I was telling her stuff about herself. And she was there for me. No, it's got nothing to do with this. It's got to do with the connection to the heart. That's what spirit is. It's the energy within you. It's the heart. People say it's a therapy. Energy is everything. Your heart administers your body. It is the biggest to administer any form of energy because it can administer hate out to people, it can administer love, confusion, joy, happiness, sadness. And that's why I told people many times, if you're wondering, like, you're feeling fine, then the next minute you feel like what the frick? Like, why do I feel this way? Have a look at energy, what's changed. just came into your energy. Because I know yesterday the energy changed in the store when I just like I really wanted to fucking belittle him right now, the way he was doing it to me. And I would have been in my right. And people say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Well, really? So a person should stand there and take somebody belittling them in front of people, fucking do your shit, tell them off, and walk away, head held high, and feeling pretty fucking proud of yourself. Whether anybody thinks you should be embarrassed or not, it's not you who should be embarrassed. It's the person that got the backlash because they were the friggin' ignorant shithead. You know, you don't mind calling me a whore and a slut and a cunt and everything like that. But, you did tell me once. Sometimes you got to speak their language, but when you speak their language, they fucking like it. Fucking bad for you, dude. Guess you shouldn't be talking to me that way either. I think I like it, but I don't. And that's why I feel it all afterwards. Because when it happens, I don't like myself for it. But I know deep down that you got to stand up for yourself. And if he's telling me sometimes you got to speak your language, well, I guess he's telling me to speak his language. That's the only thing he can understand, and that's the sad part. And when he keeps saying, "Oh, you fake it till you make it, you fake it till you make it," take that fake it till you make it and shove it up your ass and just finally fucking make it for once. Because you keep lying to yourself and everybody else in the vicinity. That part when you hug me, I just want to cry because I know what you're doing. People who deprive people of affection and love, you're cold. You are fucking downright cold. Because whatever happened to you, you're taking that out on me. And don't say it was my fault from the beginning for you to be cold because you were fucking cold when I met you. I was trying to bring some warmth to you. Did it to your ex-wife too, your first ex-wife. And you did it probably to everyone else that you were in any contact relationship with. And you can buzz me, you can tear me apart, you can fucking light me on fire with your disdain. I still care about you and love you. But as far as believing the fucking word you say, that's what I struggle with anyone. Because when people take advantage of a kind heart, it's that part if somebody's not helping you, guess you're getting your karma, aren't you? I struggle to ask people for help, but I'm not getting any help, not because of karma, because I've helped people. I'm not getting help because I know there's a part of me that's pushing it away because I don't believe in the help until I'm trying. I always see it as being something, you want something from somebody be kind to me long enough to get what you want, and then you will switch back and be that same person. Whenever I see something good for myself, it's like others don't want me to get there because whether it's, for whatever reason you have, but I still want to see good for you. That's that's the difference. Because I know that you've had things in your life that's made you the way you are. And I'm not gonna say that, they know not what they do or say because in the end you just choose to say that you don't remember because it's the easiest way to get out of the heat. Because I've said before, I don't know, I don't remember. It was because parts of picking your battles, and sometimes it's not your choice of the battle to pick because your heart is what speaks up. So that's why I don't trust a lot of people because it's like how some people will dangle something in front of something and then they'll grab it and give it to you. That's cruel. Quella potete essere uscire insieme. I've always made a total effort. I never quit trying. That being said, I'm sending you all much love, life, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone who needs and willing to receive and accept. Control, be big, hope, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Be true to yourself, be true to others. Be who you are